Ladies and gentlemen, we are here live on the FoutsCast. This is the very first episode, and I am here joined by the timeless one, Too Much Sauce, Tyler Jones. Tyler, how are we doing today?
I'm doing good. You forgot to mention the other half of Austin and Tyler present Flex Appeal.
Oh, baby, let's get it! Now, we are here on the very first episode, and, let's be honest, guys, you cannot be surprised that Tyler's the first guest on the FoutsCast.
Who else?
Who else? All right, so what we're going to do, though, is we're going to hop right in. Tyler, the fans want to know, because, I think I've heard you talk about it once or twice, but never in the detail and the fabulous crispness that I know you're going to give me here on the FoutsCast. Let's talk a little bit about how you got into professional wrestling. Tell me the tale.
Just like everyone else, I was a big fan growing up as a kid. Just watched it on TV with my dad. We kind of bonded over that. And I was like, I got to at least give it a try, because there's only one thing, there's a bunch of things I fear, but one of the biggest fears I have in life is regret, and I didn't want to live with that regret. Remember that, people. Don't live with regret. Awesome. Chase your dreams.
There you go. So, what was tell me about, the first time talking to Travis Shillington or Troy, whoever it was you talked to about training. Just give me a little bit of insight on that, how that was for you, and just how the conversation went down.
Well, I was going to the shows in Algona. I'd been going there for a couple months, just checking it out, watching the shows and stuff. And one time, I kind of got the courage. I was and I got up and talked to Travis about training, and he kind of blew me off. So I was probably 15 years old. He's like, how about you enjoy your youth, come back maybe in a couple of years, and then I think he probably forgot all about me. And then the next time I came, I actually talked to him probably a couple of years later, and I actually came and checked out a training session. And nobody talked to me there. So they just thought I came with someone, one of the other guys. So I just sat there by myself for 5 hours.
That doesn't surprise me at all. Because, the first time I showed up to an IPW thing, Troy told me to come into the show early. And I knock on the door of the vault. Travis opens it and says, "You can wait like everybody else," and close the door in my face. Oh my God. I don't think he meant anything by it. I don't think he did at all. Right. I just as probably most of you listening and we know very well, Troy and Travis sometimes aren't always on the same page when it comes to stuff like that. So, yeah, your story sounded pretty spot on. Sounded about exactly how it goes. But you can't blame them, We've kind of learned lately, too, with the rugged stuff, it's pretty hectic being a promoter. I've learned a new respect for all the promoters here in the Midwest with all the stuff they have to deal with. It's right. Pretty crazy. So, I remember we started training ballpark around the same time.
Right, yeah. Had a nice little class.
Right, yeah. It was, for the most part, if we, grind it down, for the most part, it was, during our training duration, it was probably, for the most part, you, me, Nathan Edwards, Clay Cooper, and a handful of times Dalton, and then towards the end, Emily.
Yeah.
And
the Queen Bee, Brooke freaking Valentine.
Oh, yeah, my bad.
The Queen of Des Moines.
The Queen of Des Moines. But, and I could not have asked for a better group of guys to have to come up with, because you guys pushed me because when I very first started training, it was pretty much just myself in the training class. There was a couple guys who were kind of on their way. They were already on shows doing their thing. So I was kind of on my own for a while. So, I was the golden boy because there was nobody else. I was the favorite student in class. I was the least favorite student in class. As Bill Picca would say, he would say just the least favorite. But then you guys came around, and I remember something that a lot of people don't understand is if they saw the Tyler Jones that I knew when he first started training to now, it's night and day. Because
thank you.
You came in then, and you were acting like a damn robot. Your punches looked like robotic. Everything was just, you were a freaking robot. You didn't know how tall you were. Every week you were a different height. I remember Bill was giving you a lot of grief for that all the time.
Jimmy Wild just asked me about this story too.
Jimmy Wild. Oh, let's not talk about him on here. No. Oh, screw Jimmy Wild. But so I remember during the beginning of training, you and I weren't that close at all.
We were not. No.
I remember not wanting to be close to either.
Oh, really?
I was just like,
really? Let's talk about that.
Screw Tyler Jones, because he's so much better than me. And because at first it was Nathan Edwards and I were usually pretty buddy. And, you and Clay were like, hey, guys, we're here to learn. And Nathan and I were just making dumb jokes, acting like we were DX.
I remember that. I remember getting angry about it.
Right. Like we'd have to do like these training matches, so to speak, during training sessions. And Nathan and I would just go spend however long it was just putting on dumb outfits for us to come out and pretend. I was the Sean to his Trips. And
one time Vandy managed you guys too, right?
He did. The delicious Vandy managed. What did we even call ourselves? I think it was Nasty Nate and Fabulous Austin-Fouts, the Cougar Hunters, because I could not ever wrestle as somebody else's tag team name. It was always had to jump on my ship. But speaking of tag teams, though, because then over time, Nathan and Clay kind of went off on their own thing.
Yeah.
They did the FFC stuff. They were best friends from childhood, so it was only made sense that they kind of went off and did their thing. And you and I mean, and this isn't me crapping on anybody, but for that first little bit, you and I kind of got left in the dust.
Yeah, I'd say so, for sure.
But also, though, you and I used that as an opportunity for us to get better and to improve.
I think it was a blessing in disguise almost.
Absolutely, because then they were out doing their thing. We were kind of. You were doing yours and I was doing mine. It wasn't even you and I were really together yet. But I remember you asked me to travel with you to a show or two. And then you and I just kind of were just like, okay, I guess this works.
Yeah. And then we just kept traveling. We're like, hey, let's go here. And yeah.
Yeah, and then finally one day we're like, damn, man, we travel all the time. Let's just be a tag team. Yeah. I remember that. And
you remember coming up with tag names?
Oh, yeah. I'll let you tell it. Just because you are the guest. I'll let you tell the story.
Okay,
People want to hear your voice.
So, we went to the show. They threw us together as a tag team. We were like, all right, cool. And it was a blast. We had so much fun just goofing around together as a tag team on that show. So we're like, hey, we should do this all the time. So the whole ride back, probably 8-hour trip,
Yep.
we spent coming up with tag team names. We had a whole list of them. And the first one we came up with was the one we used. But let me tell you another great one. All right. Just picture this. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to the ring, this is Just Peachy. The tag team name is Just Peachy. That's great, huh?
Nah, that's garbage. That's garbage. It was garbage then. It's garbage now. But that is something that we cannot stress enough. The first thing Tyler says is, well, let's just be FlexBuel. And I was like, no, there's already a Flex Bill. There's already been so many Flex Bills. And Tyler's like, no, what if it was Austin and Tyler present Flex Appeal? And I was like, that's stupid. That's the dumbest thing ever.
Do you like it now, though?
Yeah, I love it now because, then for that whole entire 8 hours, you and I just sat there. We bickered back and forth nonstop about different tag team names. I'm pretty sure I take that back. There was a stop because I remember we started getting annoyed. And we were like, let's just talk about something else for a little bit. And then finally we went back to it, and I remember finally I say, you know what would be a great tag team name? Austin and Tyler present Flex Appeal.
You came up with it.
Right, I came up with it. Tyler keeps implying that he did it first, but I'm going to take credit for it.
And what would set the precedent for the rest of our tag team career.
Exactly.
Together.
Exactly. That's how it works, Tyler is the look, Tyler's the wrestler. I'm the guy who says funny stuff and gets us in trouble. That's But that's the thing too, is we were this whole car ride, we were super G'd up to be a tag team. We were ready to take over the tag team scene. And I think we went a solid 3 or 4 months before anybody booked us as a tag team. we were getting pretty annoyed about it. And then finally they call us up.
Some of our first promo pictures are legendary.
Right, yeah. They're
rubbing oil on me.
Yeah, they're me rubbing oil on Tyler. The very first picture we ever took together was me wearing my Cougar Hunter tights and Tyler wearing a pair of leggings I had in my bag that were cheetah print as well. But with that first tag team booking, I remember it very well. It was probably 2 or 3 days before I get a phone call from Tiny Hansen, who was booking for RWA, Revolution Wrestling Alliance. They were doing a show in Fort Dodge, and they said, he goes, oh, hey, you and that Tyler Jones kid, you guys want to team together? I was like, okay, cool. Hell yeah. You know what we are? We're Austin and Tyler present Flex Appeal. And he said, okay, cool, I don't care.
He probably forgot the Austin and Tyler present Flex Appeal part and just called us Flex Appeal like everyone else.
Oh, probably. I think it took us a while before we're like, no, we got to really push home. We really got to drive home this Austin and Tyler present. But, so we show up to the show, and I take that back. Backtrack. Night before, I'm sitting there, and I go, shit, I have zero gear that matches Tyler's. We're going to look like a bunch of idiots. So instead of me just owning up and talking Tyler into wearing these, well, I shouldn't say owning up. I couldn't get Tyler convinced to wear these damn cheetah print leggings. So my idiot self.
I think I just got like new tights. I was
did.
bound and determined to
right,
wear.
Like, no, I'm wearing my new tights, Austin. So I had to go to Walmart and buy freaking blue sweatpants. And I got like a bunch of iron-ons. And I just ironed on all these different little patches from freaking my local Walmart onto these things. And wore them to the next show the next day. We knocked it out of the freaking park. Besides some, we'll just say some issues with the finish on our good friend Jim Creer's end. Much love to you, Jim. And then from there on out, we were just like, all right, we need to get tights. And for
then we got the best freaking tights ever.
But, we actually went a while without those tights.
Yeah, we did. A long time.
What the hell did we even wear?
I can't remember.
We must have just worn our own gear.
I think so.
Man, that sucks. I can't remember. But all I do remember is just, everybody was like, hey, guys, this is cool and all, but we don't need a tag team right now. We got a lot of that. At the beginning. Even with our home promotion, IPW, who ran like 3 freaking shows a month, couldn't fit us in. Understandably, because they had a pretty healthy tag team division, but it kind of disheartened us a little bit. But then we're just like, hey, you know what? Let's just start making, like every time we get a promo, let's just make them super badass and have a lot of fun with them. So that's kind of what we did in that first. We just, we shot promos in bathrooms. We shot, pretending like we were going to the bathroom while shooting promos. You've seen them.
Probably some of my favorite things of us tagging our promos.
Right, like I can't stand actually tagging with Tyler. Ooh, excuse me. But that's just what made it worth it, was just us sitting there being goofs, shooting these funny promos with my best friend. And we just drove from town to town, having a badass time. So Tyler, next I would kind of like you to kind of give everybody an insight on what it was like driving together. And it's like all like some road stories, so to speak. Let's hear some fun road stories.
You want to hear some road stories? I got road stories. All right. Here's how
appropriate ones.
A typical drive with Austin would be. All right. So we get in the car together. We drive. I drive because I always drove.
You're not wrong.
Austin was the DJ, and he played the same songs on blast, and he sang to them the entire road trip. I'd get so annoyed. I think we almost came to blows at least a handful of times.
I don't know what you're talking about. Everybody loves listening to me sing in the car. My girlfriend loves listening to me sing in the car. You love listening to me sing in the car. Jimmy Wild, even that piece of crap, loves listening to me sing in the car. Nobody has ever had a problem with me singing in the car. But this kind of transfers over to like our actual matches too, guys. It's because I will be the first one to say I am not a 5-star wrestler. I'm an entertainer, and I'll fully accept that. But Tyler Jones though is a badass who looks like $1 million in the ring. Thanks. So when you have a flex appeal match, you have Tyler in there getting his butt kicked for 3/4 of the match, and then Tyler's reaching over, I'm yelling, and then I'm getting hot. He hits my hand, I yell hot tag, and I go in there, I bust everybody's skull, I get to do my big cool move, and I win. Every time. That's how it works.
That's the flex appeal way.
If you've ever seen a match where Tyler's getting the pin over me, it's because the promoter said no, and I was pissed about it the whole time. That's guaranteed how that went. I'm pretty sure when we won the tag team titles at RCCW, Tyler goes to tell me to get out of the ring, and I said, no, I'm staying. And he just puts his hands on my back, and he just holds me there, and we do the 1, 2, 3. Me still in the ring, so I could technically say, even though it wasn't legal, that I got the damn pin. But on the kind of some road stories I have is there's a time we went to Indianapolis Championship Wrestling together, and first we went to the wrong hotel, then we went to the right one, and then it turns out that they didn't have a room for us, so we sat there for like 20 minutes trying to figure out the issue.
Yeah, I remember that now.
And then finally we got upgraded to this kick-ass suite.
Yeah, that was awesome.
With who's all with us?